So, if you saw my last video on Bloodborne, you would know that you can do some time zone manipulation with the new clinic skip that was discovered a couple weeks ago, like a week or two ago. And you can do some time zone manipulation by following a boss order, and by teleporting to the Yahar'Gul lamp after doing that, you can enter kind of an abandoned version of Yahar'Gul. No enemies are spawned except for in the Hypogean jail area, where there are still snatchers and the dogs. And all of the items are intact here, like you can still drop down here, get the tiny tonitrus and the upper cathedral key. But there are no enemies. No enemies like the hags, the bodies in the boxes, no amygdalas. Nothing is here, no NPC hunters or anything. So this is very useful for if you want to be more familiar with the area, or if you want to practice routing for if you do a glitchless run or anything. But honestly, if you're playing Bloodborne, why aren't you doing a glitched run? Because there's just so many glitches on current patch. But this glitch does come with a repercussion that if you're just doing a normal playthrough, this would be quite annoying. You see down there where those dogs are, you can grab the Yahar'Gul set and all that. Those doors that would normally lead out to the central Yahar'Gul to One Reborn, those doors are closed. And you cannot open them if you do the time zone manipulation in this way. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain to you, if you're a normal player, just screwing around with glitches after figuring out the clinic skip, coming back to the game, and maybe trying out some new builds, how you can get around this and progress through the game normally, semi-normally. So what you want to do, teleport to the Yahar'Gul Cathedral lamp after lighting it. It should be pretty easy because nothing is in your way now. You go here, walk to the right, still no amygdala anywhere, nothing like that. You drop down here to where these dogs normally would be. Now, obviously they're not here anymore. You've got no threat, so you can practice this as much as you want. There's no pressure. What you want to do, you see this little spire right here? What you want to do is you want to line yourself up with this face right here that my character is facing. And you want to time a jump off the sledge and land on top of that spire. Now this can be a little tricky, but if you do it right, as you can see I didn't do it right, it's easy to slide off the spire like you just saw there. But once you get it down, it should be easy enough to replicate on subsequent tries. Now by doing this glitch, it will lead to you doing a kill cam glitch, like a death cam glitch. So after you get on the spire, you want to go around here to this face that I'm facing right now, and you want to sprint into this wall, just like this. You kind of want to just be sprinting straight into it. You don't really want to be going at an angle or sliding or anything, because that could lead to you screwing up and falling off to your death. Now once you're up here, you're comfortable with sprinting, you're going to want to make a hard right jump and try to land onto that floor down there in a specific way to trigger the death cam without killing our character. Now if you jump too early, this will just kill you normally, and if you jump too far, like you walk over here onto this little ledge by sliding and you jump off, you can just land on the floor normally and it'll load in Hypogean jail and all the enemies in it normally. Now we're gonna give this a try. So you're gonna want to run like this and then jump, and you see like that looked like you could have got it, but it's easy to do. As you can see, my character slid to the right a little bit and fell and died normally. That is very easy to do, as is also triggering the area loading in normally, although that is admittedly a little harder. So once we load back in, we're gonna go give this another try. So again, you just walk here to the right, then you drop down on the sledge right here. Again, no enemies. Take as much time as you want. Don't get irritated. This won't really go away. You'll always have this opportunity available. So, jump onto the spire. Acquire my 0 blood echoes. Face this wall. Sprint. And then here's a demonstration of the area loading normally. As you can see, the dogs are here. There's a snatcher right there. Just gonna get rid of those real quick. And after we get rid of this, we're gonna teleport back to the lamp with the hunter's mark, or whatever you want. And once we load back in, we're gonna try getting the death cam to trigger without killing our character. It's easy to mess this up, but if you've done the Vicar Amelia skip before by doing the death cam glitch, then you should be familiar with what this looks like and how the character controls while in this state. But if not, I'll give you a brief rundown once we get there. So once again, we're going to screw up that sprint, because of course we do. So once again, we're going to give this a try and see if we can get it right this time. It's very easy to mess this up. The angle is a little specific, and the camera, you're up against the wall right there, so it is easy for the camera to screw you over a little bit. So you can take your time and find an angle that works for you. So again, line yourself up with this phase, sprint. I don't know why I rolled there, but I could cut this out, but I want you to see that nobody gets it right on the first try. There's always like issues that arise with trying to practice a glitch like this at first. Nobody gets it perfect at the first try. Alright, you see we got it here. We're lucky we didn't slip off the edge there. Now we face this wall, sprint, and then we did it right. Alright, so while you're in the state, if you're not familiar with this, your character is no longer visible, so you're gonna have to eyeball this. Luckily, you see this little light here. That's the little light our character emits. That will not be around forever, so if you still have trouble finding your way, you can spam L1, and the little effect from your weapon transforming can serve as a little guide to where you are once this light disappears. Your controller doesn't work normally in this state. You can still dodge and all that, but your character does not move as they should. It's sort of like tank controls, but up does not move up relative to where the camera is. So you're going to want to finagle with this around. There's no threat here, so you can just practice around and until you can get the movement down. Then we're going to want to go here and down these stairs that lead to the double doors. So basically just like a normal route, like you're going through this area like normal. And there will be no dogs here to stop us from trying to get in. So this is where the double doors are. You can see our text prompt appeared there just slightly. And now, once we're here, we're past the double doors. As you can see, our character is right here. And you can quit out and come back in, and this area past the double doors will be loaded in, and you can explore around to your heart's content. But I'm going to show you something about how you can skip the One Reborn with this glitch. Now, you're gonna have to do this twice if you want to skip the One Reborn. If you want to fight the One Reborn, you will also have to do this twice because these doors will not open. You're just gonna want to walk down this path. Sometimes our little light aura will show back up and make it easier for us to see where we're going. But again, you can spam L1 and get sort of a general idea where you are. Now, this is the fog gate. If you haven't triggered the cutscene before, you'll walk in, the cutscene will trigger normally, and the boss will appear, and you're going to want to teleport back out and try this again. If you want to fight the boss normally, I would go here and quit out and load back in, and you can fight the boss like normal. However, if you see here, we could just walk past the fog gate like this, and the boss's model is just invisible and the fight never triggers. Now, you can just keep walking normally, try to stay as straight as possible, and we can just walk past the arena. As you can see, we're using L1 to get an idea of where we are until you get to this building, which is where the mummy with the cage on his head leading to the lecture building is. Now, you're gonna want to finagle around with this until you find out where you're going, because this is pretty hard to figure out where you're going. However, if you have enough patience, you will be able to find your way. If you see the border of the map here, you know you're close. This is where you can see Inspect Mummy. You would just walk around and keep spamming X until you find it. And that will lead you to the lecture building. Now, I'm going to show you what exploring the area looks like with all the enemies unloaded. Just give you a brief demonstration of that. I'm going to sprint back past the boss arena. I've already lit the lecture building lamp, so I don't need to do this. So we're back out the fog gate. We're going to quit out. And then we're going to go back in, and I'll show you what this looks like. Okay, so we're loading back in. And once we load back in, we should be right here in the area just before the boss gate. You can see here is where you would want to be if you wanted to fight the One Reborn normally. But since we're in this sort of purgatory version of Yahar'Gul, you can walk around this particular area where normally you would be bombarded by the bodies and boxes, and you can just walk around and kind of do whatever. All the items will still be here. Like there's an arcane like rune, there's some cold bloods, and there's all that fun stuff. There are a few quirks with this area though in this state. Things like the area up by the area by the first Yahar'Gul lamp, the elevator, that will be up there, but you cannot activate it. It will be kind of stuck. And if you go here, up to where this little warp would be, that would lead you to like on a rooftop. This warp, the effect is still here, but you cannot use the warp. As you can see, there's no prompt telling us to teleport. But yeah, this is just sort of a novelty glitch. There's no way to really implement this in any kind of runs unless you're doing like as few bosses killed as possible. This is one of the only glitches in the game on the current patch, mind you. This isn't something that's been patched out, so you can do this if you load up your game right now. As you can see, we got a blood gem right here. So all the items are still here. This is one of the only glitches in the game as it is right now that allows you to skip a mandatory boss fight, allowing you to cut down on as few bosses as possible, runs as just by one significant boss. Because I know the One Reborn can be a little irritating, even though some speedrunners make them look easy. They like to skip the witches a lot, the bell ringing ladies up top in the arena, so it can be slightly luck based, as with all, runs on most routes. But yeah, there's not a lot of whole practicality to this glitch. It's just something sort of fun if you want to walk around and get a feel for Yahar'Gul without any enemies getting in your way, so you can optimize for your next character. We just want to walk around, get a free blood gem, a free rune, and skip a boss and come back later and absolutely destroy them after you've already beaten like Gehrman. So yeah, that's essentially all there is to this glitch. I want to screw around with more of the death cam glitch in other areas where it's possible to do. See if there's anything else you can do there. So yeah, that's all for now, and I hope you'll stay tuned for the next one.